What if Spider-Man became the new Green Goblin? After Aunt May's death, Peter Parker's world shatters. Grief turns to anger, anger to obsession. And in his darkest moment, he finds Norman Osborn's final gift, the serum that created the Green Goblin himself. But instead of destroying it, Peter injects it. In seconds, his strength multiplies, his senses sharpen, but his mind begins to break. Now, Spider-Man isn't fighting the Goblin anymore. He is the Goblin, a new kind of monster, faster, smarter, stronger, and more dangerous than ever before. This is not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is something far worse. This is an alternative ending Spider-Man story that will shock you. Now take a deep breath and let's go. In a city that never sleeps, the shadows never rest. New York, a world suspended between hope and despair. Its skyline gleams with steel and glass, a monument to humanity's ambition and to its fragility. Among its millions walks one man, a young man burdened by power, by loss, by the unrelenting weight of responsibility. Peter Parker, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. For years, he has fought to protect this city from itself, from greed, from chaos, from monsters born of man's arrogance. But even heroes bleed. Even they break. The night she died changed everything. Aunt May, his heart, his anchor, his last connection to innocence. Her death wasn't just tragedy, it was the fracture of Peter's soul. He replayed it endlessly. The explosion, the scream, the way her eyes softened even as life faded from them. "Do the right thing, Peter," she whispered with her final breath. And yet, the right thing had led her to her grave. He failed her. He failed everyone. And in the ruins of that failure, something began to grow. A seed, small, dark, and whispering promises. That's when he returned. Norman Osborn, the man who tore the Parker family apart, and somehow the only one who seemed to understand the storm inside Peter's heart. But this was not the Norman he once knew. The Goblin had fully consumed him, a symphony of madness wrapped in intelligence and charisma. And yet, behind the cruelty, there was a strange kind of honesty. Osborn's voice slithered through the silence. "Do you see it now, Peter? The world doesn't want saviors. It wants control. It craves order, and compassion makes you weak." Peter's fists clenched. He wanted to kill him, to silence the voice that had haunted his nightmares. But Osborn was already dying, wounded, bleeding, still smiling. He reached into his coat and revealed a small vial, the last remnant of the serum that had birthed the Green Goblin. A sickly green glow pulsed within it, like liquid malice. He tossed it toward Peter. "Only the true hero," he whispered, "has the courage to take this power and fix the world the way it should be." Osborn collapses. The vial rolls across the floor, stopping at Peter's feet. For a moment, the room was silent. Only the faint hiss of broken machinery and Peter's heavy breathing remained. He looked down at the vial, at the reflection of his own trembling hand, his own haunted eyes. He could destroy it. He should destroy it. But May's words echoed again. Do the right thing. What if the right thing was no longer enough? What if the only way to protect people was to become stronger? Strong enough that no one could ever suffer again. Lightning flashes. Peter's face hardens. He uncaps the vial. The gas inside swirls like a living thing, green mist curling around his fingers. One injection, one choice. He hesitates. The memory of May, of MJ, of Ned, all flicker before his eyes. Then a whisper, almost not his own. With great power must come control. He plunges the needle into his arm. A burst of green light floods the place. His scream echoes, not of pain, but transformation. Every nerve ignites, every cell burns. His strength multiplies beyond measure. His senses explode into overdrive. But behind the power, something else awakens, something darker. A voice inside his mind, cold and precise. The Goblin's laughter, yet it's coming from him. Peter falls to his knees, gripping his head, as two identities clash inside him, the hero and the monster, the protector and the tyrant. When he stands again, the eyes behind the mask glow faintly green, and for the first time, Spider-Man feels invincible. Outside, the rain stops. The city lights shimmer on wet pavement, and far above it all, a lone figure stands upon a tower, looking down not with compassion, but with judgment. The world below is broken, and Peter Parker intends to fix it by any means necessary. This is the birth of something new. Not the Spider-Man the world loved, but the one it would come to fear. Soft wind over the city rooftops. A new dawn rises, but it feels wrong. Too quiet, too clean, as if the city itself is holding its breath. The morning after the serum. The world still believes in Spider-Man, the masked savior who always finds a way to do what's right. But Peter hasn't slept. His veins hum with energy, his muscles no longer ache. He can hear the city's heartbeat, every scream, every siren, every lie whispered in its alleys, and it disgusts him. He swings through the skyline, faster, smoother, more precise than ever before. The webs shoot effortlessly, forming patterns that almost seem mathematical. The serum hasn't just made him stronger. It's made him smarter, sharper, every neuron firing like lightning. But in the depths of that brilliance, compassion fades like an echo. He stops above a crime scene, a gang robbing a jewelry store. Normally he'd make a joke. "Hey guys, you forgot to invite me to the party." But this time, there's silence. He lands among them like a storm. Bones crack before anyone can scream. One tries to pull a gun. Peter disarms him, then drives him through a car windshield with superhuman force. Another flees. Peter grabs him with a web and yanks him back too hard. The man hits the wall with a sickening thud. When it's over, they're still alive, barely. Police sirens in the distance. Peter stares at his hands. He should feel guilt. He doesn't. He looks at the reflection in a shattered window, his eyes faintly glowing green beneath the mask. "The city needs order," he whispers, "not mercy." The Oscorp Tower, abandoned, but humming with residual power. Peter returns there, scavenging equipment, tools, weaponry. His mind is relentless now, calculating, designing, upgrading. He modifies his suit. New armor plating, green energy channels running along the veins, web shooters enhanced with goblin tech. The new Spider-Man is born, a creature of precision and fear. But he's not alone in noticing the change. MJ senses it first. He's distant, colder. She visits him in his apartment where the walls are covered with blueprints, surveillance photos, schematics of Oscorp drones. "Peter, you're scaring me," she says softly. He doesn't look up. "I'm fixing things, MJ. The city's rotten. I can't let it keep falling apart." She reaches for his hand. It trembles, not from weakness, but restraint. "This isn't you," she whispers. He looks at her, and for a heartbeat the old Peter flickers, the one who laughed, who loved, who believed. But then his gaze hardens. "Maybe it should have been," he replies. Cut to the Daily Bugle. J. Jonah Jameson's voice roars through the newsroom. "Spider-Man's gone rogue. Civilians report excessive force. Property destruction. Someone get me pictures, now." Across the city, videos go viral. Spider-Man brutalizing criminals, dismantling gangs, terrifying corrupt officials. Some call him a menace. Others, a savior finally doing what the law couldn't. The line between hero and tyrant begins to blur. Peter taking down crime lords, destroying drug operations, even attacking a group of police officers he deems corrupt. Each victory feels righteous. Each act of violence feels justified. And slowly, the laughter in his head grows louder. No longer Norman's voice, but his own reflection mocking him. "You see now, Peter," it whispers, "power without limits is freedom." While this, at the Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, Wong bursts into the library, scrolls flying. Stephen, something's wrong. I can feel it. Reality trembles around New York. Strange closes his eyes, seeing visions of green energy threading through the web of fate. It's him, Strange murmurs. Parker. He's tampering with forces beyond his understanding. He steps through a portal into the city Peter once protected. The two meet on a skyscraper rooftop, wind howling around them. Peter, Strange calls out, you're losing yourself. I'm evolving, Peter answers. You're becoming the very thing you swore to destroy. Peter's mask turns toward him, those glowing eyes unblinking. The difference is, I can control it. A battle erupts, webs charged with green energy slamming against mystic shields, the skyline illuminated by chaos. Strange opens portals to restrain him, but Peter's enhanced mind anticipates every move. He traps Strange in his own mirror dimension, shattering the illusion with brute force. As Strange collapses, gasping, Peter kneels beside him. You could have helped me fix this world, he says. You chose weakness. He leaves the Sorcerer Supreme broken, vanishing into the mist. The news spreads. The Avengers try to reach him, but Peter avoids them all. Tony is gone. Strange is down. Thor is off-world. There's no one left who truly understands him. No one except two. A faint hum fills the air. A rift opens. Two figures step through, landing silently on a dark rooftop. The camera pans to reveal Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Older, wiser, tired. They've been here before, crossing universes to help Peter find his way back from the edge. But this time, they didn't come to fight beside him. They came to stop him. Andrew looks down at the city below, burning police cars, people running, drones patrolling overhead. What happened to him? He whispers. Toby's eyes are heavy with sorrow. He forgot who he was. Cut to the sky. Peter standing atop the Oscorp Tower, watching drones swarm under his command. New York, he announces through a hacked broadcast, his voice calm but absolute. For too long you've suffered under corruption, chaos, and cowardice. No more. Images flicker across screens. Spider-Man's emblem, glowing green, a symbol of dominance. He's turned the city into a surveillance network, using Oscorp satellites to predict crime before it happens. He's creating his version of peace, one enforced by fear. Crowds watch in awe and terror. Some cheer, others flee. This is no longer Peter Parker, the boy who lost everything. This is something else, something greater, and infinitely more dangerous. The goblin within smiles, and somewhere deep inside, a faint echo of Aunt May's voice tries to reach him. Peter, come back! But her voice is drowned out by the roar of drones and the applause of a city kneeling to its new protector. The world has gained order, but lost its hero. Once, Spider-Man was a symbol of hope. Now, his symbol burns across every skyscraper. A warning. Weeks have passed since Peter seized control of Oscorp's network. New York has changed. The streets are quiet. Too quiet, crime rates have plummeted, but so has freedom. Drones patrol every corner, scanning faces, analyzing behavior. Anyone suspected of wrongdoing is webbed, restrained, and taken away before they can even move. The people live in fear, but also in strange gratitude. For the first time, the city feels safe, and that, perhaps, is the greatest tragedy. A mother clutches her child as a drone hovers past. She whispers, "He's protecting us," but her voice trembles. Above them all, Peter watches from Oscorp Tower. The serum coursing through his veins has made him more than human. His mind is a supercomputer, his senses stretched across the city's data streams. Every whisper, every heartbeat, every crime. He knows them all. He has become the web itself. Peter's eyes flicker between green and red as he processes thousands of thoughts at once. This is peace, he murmurs. The world doesn't need heroes. It needs order. But the web is tightening, and somewhere in its strands, something begins to unravel. Far from Oscorp, two figures move through the rain-soaked alleys. Toby and Andrew, veterans of pain and loss. They've been tracking him for days, studying his systems, analyzing his weaknesses. Andrew kneels beside a drone's shattered remains. He's using neural mapping tech. It's connected to the city's surveillance grid. Toby nods grimly. Then we take out the network, or take out him. Andrew hesitates. You still believe he can be saved? Toby looks toward the tower's glowing peak. I have to, he sighs. No one believed I could be saved once either. Flashback montage. Toby facing his own rage, his failures, the pain of losing Uncle Ben, the redemption earned through forgiveness. Andrew clenches his fists. Then let's bring him home. Cut to Oscorp's command chamber. Peter stands before a holographic web displaying New York. His AI, a fusion of Oscorp tech and his own intellect, reports in cold tones. Crime probability, 0.02%. Civilian satisfaction, 94%. Unregistered anomalies detected. 2 masked entities. Peter's eyes narrow. They found me. He smirks, not in fear but in anticipation. Let them come. News channels across the globe debate the new order of Spider-Man. Some nations praise him, others condemn him. Memes, protests, and prayers flood the internet. Even the Avengers, scattered across the stars, hear whispers of what he's become. Sam Wilson, now Captain America, stands in silence before a news broadcast showing Spider-Man's regime. Tony trusted him, he mutters. Beside him, Bruce Banner shakes his head. He's not the kid we knew. But before they can act, it's too late. Peter has already extended his reach beyond New York. Using Oscorp satellites, he begins a global initiative, the Guardian Protocol, a digital network designed to predict and eliminate threats before they happen. Governments panic, servers crash. But within hours, Peter restores order with terrifying efficiency. He's no longer a local hero. He's becoming a god. Drones in London, Tokyo, and Sao Paulo marked with Spider-Man's new sigil. And in the darkness of cyberspace, something ancient stirs, a ripple across the multiverse. The balance of worlds begins to fracture again as Peter's overreach tugs at the web of reality itself. Doctor Strange, still weakened, senses it. If he continues, he gasps, he'll tear the fabric between universes apart. The multiverse trembles. Flashes of alternate timelines appear, worlds collapsing, versions of Peter screaming as the network invades their realities. He's not just rewriting his world's destiny, he's rewriting them all. Night falls again. Thunder rumbles over the skyline as the 2 older Spider-Men approach the tower. Wind howls, lightning flashes, illuminating their faces, scarred, determined, older. Andrew breathes heavily. He's watching us. Toby nods. Good. Then he knows we're not running. They swing into the storm. Lasers fire, drones swarm. The air becomes a battlefield of webs, explosions, and electricity. They fight like legends, precise, coordinated, relentless. But Peter is ready. Cut inside the tower. Peter's voice echoes through loudspeakers. You shouldn't have come. This isn't your world to save. Toby replies. It never was about worlds. It's about you. The glass explodes as Peter bursts through it, his armor gleaming with neon veins, his mask expressionless. The clash is instantaneous. 3 Spider-Men, one corrupted, 2 desperate, collide midair in a storm of power and guilt. The city below watches in awe as webs streak across the sky like lightning. Every hit shakes the skyline. Every scream echoes through the rain. Andrew is the first to falter, caught by one of Peter's energy webs and slammed into a drone. Toby catches him midair, saving him at the last moment. Get up! Toby yells. Andrew groans. He's stronger than both of us. Toby grimly replies. Then we remind him who he is. They regroup on a nearby tower. Peter hovers above them, supported by Goblin tech wings, eyes glowing brighter than ever. You think you can stop me? He growls. I've done what none of you ever could. I've ended chaos. Andrew shouts back. By becoming it. Peter hesitates. For the briefest second, as their words pierce through the madness. But the voice in his head, the goblin, laughs louder. They'll never understand you. They'll never accept you. He dives, a streak of green energy, slamming both of them into the glass walls of the tower. As they fight, their words echo between blows, not as enemies, but as brothers lost in time. Toby: power isn't about control, Peter. It's about choice. Andrew: we've all lost someone, but we never gave up who we were. Peter's punches grow slower, heavier. For a heartbeat, his mask cracks, revealing his eyes, filled not with rage, but pain. He sees them. Two men who walked the same path, two reflections of what he could have been. Flash of Aunt May's face, her final words echo. You don't need to fix the world, Peter. Just help people find their way. The voices collide inside his mind. May, MJ, Osborne, the goblin himself. The serum pulses, the web trembles. Peter screams, a sound of fury and agony. The green light around him flares, distorting the air. The multiverse shudders again. Toby reaches out a hand, his voice trembling. Peter, you can still stop this. You can still come back. Peter's breathing slows. His hand twitches, almost reaching, then clenches into a fist. Back. To what? He growls. To weakness? Lightning strikes behind him, silhouetting his twisted form. The goblin's laughter merges with his own, and in that moment the last fragment of Peter Parker seems to vanish. Three Spider-Men locked in a battle not just for a city, but for a soul. The tower glows brighter, energy surging. The world around them begins to fracture, pieces of other universes bleeding through. A war between redemption and corruption rages in the storm. And somewhere deep within the chaos, a faint whisper persists, a voice so small it could be lost in the wind. Peter, please, remember who you are. The next move will decide not just the fate of New York, but of every reality connected to the spider's web. Thunder rolls, rain pours like shattered glass. The city screams under a storm, not born of nature but of chaos. Oscorp Tower trembles, its structure pulsing with green energy, as if alive. The battle between the three Spider-Men has torn through floors, corridors, and hearts. Outside, the skyline flickers, each flash of lightning revealing cracks between realities, flashes of other worlds bleeding through. Statues crumble, time bends, every punch shakes existence itself. Inside, the once familiar Peter Parker, the boy who dreamed of helping people, stands transformed. Half his mask is gone, revealing a face split between fury and despair. The veins beneath his skin glow with emerald light. His voice is two at once. Peter and the Goblin, hero and monster. Toby, Andrew, and Peter. The triangle of fate, webbed together by tragedy. Toby breathes heavily, bruised but unbroken. Peter, he says softly, look at yourself. Peter smirks, cold, distant. I see perfection. Andrew steps forward, clutching his ribs. You see control, but all you've done is build a bigger cage. Peter's eyes flash green. A cage keeps people safe. He slams his hand into the ground. Green webs of energy spread across the floor, forming tendrils that lash out, wrapping around the older Spider-Men, pulling them toward him. Do you know what it's like to fail, everyone? Peter screams, voice cracking. To bury everyone you love and still be expected to smile. Toby looks into his eyes. Yes, every day. And a brief silence cuts through the chaos, only the rain falling between them. Peter's breathing stutters. For a heartbeat, the world stands still. But the goblin's voice slithers again inside his mind. They'll never forgive you, but I can make sure they never hurt you again. Peter roars, and the tendrils tighten. The multiverse tears open above the tower, a spiral of shattered worlds and alternate Peters screaming into the void. Reflections of him, good, evil, broken, flicker like ghosts in glass, each one showing what he could have been, what he's becoming. Andrew, struggling to breathe, yells through the pain. "Peter, listen to me. We've all lost people. But you don't honor them by becoming what killed them." Peter hesitates again, the words cut deep. A flash of Aunt May's face, Uncle Ben's voice, MJ's laughter, Ned's smile. Toby breaks free of the webs, leaping forward, grabbing Peter's wrist. "You're stronger than this," Peter snarls. "Strength is all I have left." He punches Toby through a wall. Debris collapses, sparks fly. Andrew leaps to intercept, slamming into Peter midair. Both crash through a window, spiraling down the tower's side. Slow motion, the two falling through shards of glass, reflecting flashes of their pasts. The science fair, the bite, May's kitchen, the rooftop kiss. They land violently on a scaffold. Andrew coughs blood, mask torn. He looks at Peter, eyes pleading. "I couldn't save Gwen. You can still save yourself." Peter freezes. The name hits like lightning. "Gwen." The goblin's voice hisses. "She's gone because you were weak." "No," Peter whispers. "She's gone because I failed." His knees buckle. The energy around him flickers. For the first time, his power feels heavy, poisoned by regret. Toby lands beside them, limping but determined. "Then make it right, kid." Peter looks at them both. Two men who've carried the same curse and found peace in the scars. Tears mix with rain. The glow in his veins dims, but the goblin's presence isn't done. Sudden surge, the serum overloads, sending a blast of energy that throws them all apart. The voice screams inside him. "You think you can silence me? I am you!" Peter clutches his head, falling to his knees, convulsing. Visions flash. The lab, Osborne, May, the serum, the screams. The laughter becomes deafening. Toby kneels beside him, grabbing his shoulders. "Fight it, Peter. You're not him." Peter looks up, tears streaming. "How do I stop it?" Toby whispers, broken but certain. "You already know how." Peter stares at the syringe case nearby, the antidote he created but never used. Time slows. The world cracks around them, universes collapsing, buildings twisting into impossible shapes. MJ's voice echoes through the storm, not from this world but from his memory. "You don't need to fix the world, Peter. Just help people find their way." He looks down at the antidote, then at his trembling hand, then at the other Spider-Men, bruised, waiting, believing. He whispers, "Tell MJ, I'm sorry." Toby shakes his head. "Don't you dare." But Peter plunges the antidote into his chest. A scream tears through the night, part agony, part release. Green light bursts outward, flooding the sky, turning white, erasing the goblin's voice forever. The tower begins to crumble. Energy discharges upward, sealing the fractures in reality. The storm fades. Peter collapses. The serum burns out of his blood, taking everything with it. The power, the rage, the corruption. Toby catches him before he hits the ground. Andrew kneels beside them. Peter's voice is weak. "Did it work?" Toby nods, choking back tears. "You did it, kid. You saved everyone." Peter smiles faintly. Maybe I finally did the right thing." Lightning flashes one last time, illuminating the three Spider-Men side by side, bathed in rain and light. Days later, New York breathes again. The drones are gone. The sky is clear. For the first time in months, the city's silence feels peaceful. News headlines call it the miracle storm. No one remembers exactly what happened, only that Spider-Man stopped it. Some think he died. Others believe he's still watching. Atop a quiet rooftop, MJ stands alone. She looks out over the sunrise, her eyes filled with both sorrow and hope. In her hand, a single web line, charred and broken, left behind. She whispers into the morning breeze, "I miss you." And Toby and Andrew prepare to return to their worlds. Andrew asks softly, "Do you think he's really gone?" Toby looks toward the horizon. "No, not gone, just finding his way back." They vanish into the portal, leaving this world healed but haunted. Beneath the ruins of Oscorp Tower, in the dim light of dawn, a shadow stirs. Dust falls from collapsed steel beams. A gloved hand emerges, trembling but alive. Peter. He rises slowly, his suit torn, his face pale. The glow is gone, his powers diminished, but his eyes clear, human. He looks around at the ruins, at the skyline bathed in gold, and for the first time in what feels like forever, he smiles. Soft, reflective. Power isn't what defines us. It's what we choose to do when we have none. Miss Peter walks into the light, just a man again, burdened but free. The city alive, hopeful, unaware of how close it came to destruction. High above, on a neighboring rooftop, a faint green spark flickers. A single drop of serum glowing inside shattered glass. The wind blows. The spark fades, or perhaps it waits. If you did enjoy this alternative ending story, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.